Hi there, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world today. My name is Leela Singh and I'm a career growth and visibility coach. Welcome to My Brand TV. For those of you who are on just now, I've had to restart this live because for some reason my sound didn't appear to be working. I do hope this is better. So if you can you pop in the comments, let me know that you can hear me. Because I think there's an issue with my speaker. So I've switched it around and hopefully this should be working for you. I'm just checking on my phone. But if you could let me know if you can hear me, that would be great. Thank you. Bear with me a second. Let me just check. Technical difficulties are not great today. Let's see. Is that working better? So do let me know if you can hear me, because I've just stopped the previous live and I've started the stream again on a different camera and speaker. So I'm hoping that you can now hear me. So do drop me a comment in the box below and just let me know if it's working. It doesn't appear to be working on my phone. So I'm not sure if it's me, my laptop, my phone at the moment that is not working. I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm going to run this for a little bit, and at some point I'm hoping somebody will tell me if this is working. So first of all, what is it I do? I work with career professionals typically in the technology industry who get promoted, who want to maximize their earnings potential, and basically to show up as the best version of themselves in the workplace. And I'd like to welcome each and every one of you who's joined me live today or on the replay. If you're here live, then do say hello in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching on replay, then do please hashtag replay. And again, let me know where you're watching from and pop any questions in the box below and tag me in, and I will come back and respond to you. Before I kick off, I would like to first of all remind those of you who are joining me for the first time who have not done so as yet to grab your copy of the Personal Brand Playbook. This is a playbook I've put together based on the 6 facets of personal branding that I believe are critical to master in order that you can accelerate your career. And the playbook walks you through these various areas. It shares some information about it and how you can implement it. It gives you strategies and best practices that you can take away and use immediately. It also has a brand audit that you can work through to identify where your skills gaps are and the areas that you can work on to improve and be even better in the way that you're showing up in the workplace. So do grab your copy of that today. The link will be popped into the comments shortly. And secondly, my YouTube channel went live just last week. So go ahead and after the live, do go check it out, and please do subscribe and share it with people who you feel can benefit from the content that is shared on there. There are all of my podcasts over the last 12 months will be on there, and they are interviews with leaders in the technology industry. So do check them out. They're incredibly inspiring and insightful in the shares that my guests have talked with me about. So that is fantastic. And also all of the lives that we've been running over the last coming up to 12 months will be in there as well. So do check out my YouTube channel, and thank you in advance for your support. So what is personal branding? Personal branding is others' perceptions of you. It's your reputation amongst your peers, your colleagues, and in your industry. And it's what people say about you when you're not in the room. And it's the feeling that people experience when they meet you and they work with you and they hear your name mentioned, because those feelings create lasting perceptions. And why is this important? It's important because it's critical to understanding who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to be known for, both personally and professionally. And it's integral to all stages of your career. So whether you're starting out or you're more established in your career, if you're looking to change your role or seeking to pivot to something completely new, maybe you're wanting to elevate your career, to enhance your visibility, to be a more effective leader, or simply create an industry profile, whatever it might be for you, it is critical to be able to stand out and to be remembered for the right reasons. So today's episode is all about taking back control and an inside out approach. And this is a 3-part series. So today is the final part of that series. And before I kick off, just want to apologize once again for the technical hitch at the beginning there, and the sound issues. I'm hoping you can all hear me now. So please do pop a comment below and let me know that you can hear me and the sound is clear. And I will continue going through sharing this information from the framework. So we talked previously, as a recap, about the fact that over the last 18 months to 2 years now, you might have been feeling out of control. There's a lack of certainty in different areas of your life due to the unexpected and the unprecedented arrival of the global pandemic at the start of 2020. And there are many factors that remain outside of your control day to day. Not only the pandemic, you have the economy, the weather, politics, Brexit, if you're in the UK, or Europe even, your employer, your manager, people that you work with, it might be people in your social circle or your family. There are various people and situations that you cannot control. You have no control over that. And that list is endless. Yet it is so much easier for us to place blame for our circumstances and our situation on those external factors, the things that we have no control over, rather than actually looking to take responsibility for ourselves. And this is human nature. It's what we tend to do naturally without really thinking about it. So it's not that it's a bad thing, but it's about becoming aware of what we're doing and actually what can we do even better. And here's the thing, that lack of control creates a lack of certainty. And that lack of certainty makes us feel uneasy, a little bit anxious, and we're not really sure what's going on, and it creates a lot of negative emotions within us that has us feeling quite unsettled. And here's the thing I invite you to do, is to think about, how do you choose to respond to those situations, and who do you choose to be? And this is all about taking responsibility. So to recap very quickly on what we've covered previously, a couple of weeks ago, we looked at part 1 of this really simple framework. It's an ABC framework that I have created. I'm just going to share some slides with you there. So there you go. It's the ABC framework. And essentially, we looked at A couple of weeks ago. So you can go back and check out the live on this in my post within LinkedIn or on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. And we talked there about awareness. This is about your self-awareness, developing that, honing that, becoming more aware of the way that you're showing up, the way that you're reacting and responding to situations, and journaling about it, because by journaling about it, it helps you to really start to see what is going on for you, and then what is it you can do differently. We talked about being at cause in your life rather than at effect, and looking at responding to situations rather than simply reacting to them or lashing out or blaming. So that's what we looked at a couple of weeks ago when we explored A, which is awareness, and particularly self-awareness. And then we looked at B, and B is about beliefs. And this is what we covered last week on the live. And that was about the beliefs that we hold about ourselves, the stories that we tell ourselves, what it is that has us lacking that self-belief or that confidence in ourselves, what stories we're telling ourselves, and understanding our core values and how they align with our truth and our beliefs, and whether our beliefs are truths that have become our truths because we want to believe them, or are they actually facts, and being more objective about them. So it's about really understanding beliefs and how we can instill more confidence in ourselves. And so today we are looking at the C, and the C is change. And change, here's the thing, change is inevitable. Change is going to happen no matter what. No matter what, change is going to happen for all of us. It's a bit like taxes and death. It's inevitable. So is change. It happens all the time. We cannot control that. And so there's some aspects that I want to share with you about this today, things for you to consider that will help you in embracing that change to, again, build on that self-awareness and have you showing up in the world more open to the uncertainty that we're all facing, more so now than ever before. So the first thing we're looking at is that change. And what I invite you to do here is to really think about accepting that change is inevitable and embracing it, knowing that day to day things are always unexpectedly going to happen. We're not always, we try our best to plan for things, but there are things that will impact our plan. It's a bit like planning a journey from A to B, and we plan it out in our sat nav system, and then we start driving along, and then there's roadworks or there's an accident, and the sat nav takes you in a different direction. It's being able to adapt. So recognizing that and learning to step into that and not resist it, because your resistance is what creates the negative energy, the negative emotions within us, and that has us reacting in a way that then doesn't serve us. So you want to be mindful of that and what it is that you are doing in the way that you're responding and the resistance you're creating to that change. So by embracing and being open to that change, you will have a better experience. And then we have certainty. So when I talk about certainty is about having certainty that life is uncertain. There will always be change, but also recognizing that the only certainty we have in life is the inevitable fact that things will be changing constantly. And Tony Robbins talks about this as one of the human needs. One of the human needs or the top one is actually certainty. And most people will seek certainty in their life. They want to know what's going to happen next. They want to have a clear idea about the future, the plans, what's going to be happening. And that's really, really important. Whereas there are some people who prefer the variety, that uncertainty of life, the spontaneity. And so it's understanding what is important for you, but recognizing that it can't always be our way. I like to have certainty. I like to know what's happening, but sometimes things will happen that are inevitable. We can't control it. And we have to find a workaround, a bit like the journey from A to B and the roadworks and the accident. That means that it might take longer than we had planned. And it's the same with our career. It's the same with our life. And therefore, it's being open to what life throws at you, to the opportunities, the obstacles, and embracing that and saying, okay, what can I do with this situation to help me to get to where I want to be? The next one I want to share with you is choice. And here's the thing. Everything that we think, do, and say in life is a choice. And I'm just referring to my notes here. So I put some ideas together just to share with you today on this. And here's the thing. Every situation that we experience creates a choice for us. And every decision that we then make creates that outcome or a result for us. And we're faced with choices every minute of every day. And where you are today, what has brought you to where you are today is a consequence of those decisions that you made and the choices that you had at the time. Because everything we're doing, whether we choose to jump out of bed when the alarm goes off or to snooze it several times, that is a choice that we are making. Whether we choose to eat breakfast in the morning or not, it's a choice. Whether we choose to exercise or not is a choice. It's all choices that we have. We get to decide. And that brings us to where we are now. And the choices that we make from here on in will define where you're heading in the future. Again, subject to the change. So when we talk about choice, it's okay. We have to accept change, and the choices that come with it will be different because things are always evolving. And again, comes back to how do you choose to then respond to those situations in terms of the choices that you are making. And I've shared with you before, I just remind you, it's a little bit like the example of road rage. You're driving down the road, somebody tries to cut you up, and you kick off, you start shouting and swearing at that person, or beeping your horn. and they have no clue. They carry on in their merry way, and you're the one who gets stressed. You get angry, frustrated, upset. Believe me, I used to be that person many years ago, driving to work, and always having people in the mornings or the evenings cutting me up on the motorway. And it used to wind me up, and then I'd show up in the workplace and I'd be not in a good state, let's say. And that will then start to impact the rest of my day. From the moment that I open my laptop and look at my emails, or someone comes and asks me something, my state won't be managed, and I'll be in a place of, frustration, anger, whatever it is that triggered me from the incident on the way into work. And then I don't have a good experience for the rest of the day. But when I learn to manage my state and to be more aware of how I'm responding to situations, I then get better experiences. And it's the same with choices, because we have a choice of whether we want to kick off, or to fly off the handle, or to get angry or frustrated, whether it is road rage or something somebody says to us that upsets us, that makes us feel bad. We do choose that. We are choosing that at every moment. So becoming aware, we talked about the A in this framework, of what we're doing, how we're responding, and the choices that we are making. We create better experiences for us. And then we have the comfort zone. So with the comfort zone, this is about, first of all, most importantly, is getting comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. Because when you have that uncertainty, when things are changing all the time, it is uncomfortable. So again, it's embracing it and getting comfortable with the fact that life can be uncomfortable. And actually, this is the place or the space where you get to grow. It's where you get to realize your capabilities. It's realizing what is possible, what you are capable of. So when I talk about this, what I mean is coming out of your comfort zone, being uncomfortable, feeling uncomfortable, and growing as a consequence of it. It's character building. It helps to define you. It helps you to realize what is really possible for you. And for those of you who've joined my lives before, you probably have heard me share this. But just to give context, I would not be sat here now speaking to you. I would not have achieved what I did in my sales role when I was in tech. I wouldn't have been able to become a keynote speaker or TEDx speaker. I wouldn't be coaching people now. I wouldn't be doing what I do and be in the place that I am if I hadn't massively stepped out of my comfort zone all those years ago. And I'm talking about 21 years ago. And at the time, I was incredibly shy. I lacked confidence. I didn't like to be seen. I didn't really speak up because I was afraid that I would say something stupid, or people would laugh at me or criticize me. So I had all of that negative inner dialogue going on. And so I just kind of tended to keep myself quite hidden. And by taking that step out of my comfort zone, which meant going from a role that allowed me to stay hidden and quiet and safe, to really being exposed. So going from being an accountant to working in recruitment meant that I was putting myself out there. I was exposing myself. I had to speak to people, of course. I had to go meet new clients, work with people that were a lot more senior than I had been in my role. And all of those things challenged me, because I felt like I was this little minion. I was the nothing person. And by pushing myself there, of course, it was incredibly uncomfortable at the start. But the growth that I talk about and the learning is it took me from here in terms of confidence to here. And that really helped me to propel myself forward when it then came to moving forward in my career and being able to create something for myself that I would never have dreamt about 20 odd years ago. So I hope that makes sense, and it resonates in some way with you that, yes, we have to take those risks if we want to grow and we want to learn. But by taking them and by becoming uncomfortable, it moves us forward. And for me, one of the biggest learnings is that when I was an accountant, I always remember thinking, good Lord, I could never be a salesperson. I could never do something like that, or to go out and speak. I used to hate having to stand up and speak or do a presentation at work. And by pushing myself to step out of my comfort zone, I recognize my potential. I recognize what I'm potentially capable of, the possibilities that it created for me. And it's the same for you, that if you don't take that step, if you don't try new things, if you don't take those risks, you will never realize what you are truly, truly capable of. And believe me, it can blow your mind. So I really invite you to take this on board and to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because it will really enable you to realize your strengths, your capabilities, and that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. And actually also creates opportunities for you, or create new opportunities as a consequence, like it has done for me, in the same way it will for you. So if you're open to exploring new opportunities, you want to create new possibilities in your life, then this is huge. It's getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, and trying those new things. So I hope this makes sense and it resonates with you. If it does, do let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, please do ask them. I am here to support you when I do these lives, so please ask away. So that's comfort zone. I think I've talked that one through enough. So the next one is courage. And courage is again, it's leading on from the comfort zone. It's about having that courage to take responsibility. It's about thinking, okay, am I actually taking responsibility for my life? Am I at cause in my life? Or am I on the receiving end? Am I at effect in my life as opposed to cause? And am I just blaming everything else for where I'm at? So in other words, what responsibility are you taking to create the life that you want, the career that you want, the opportunities that you want? And we come back to, is it easy? Is it hard? Are you taking the easy option or the harder option? You staying in the comfort zone, or are you stepping outside? What is it for you? And this is where courage comes in, because we need that courage to be able to do it. So ask yourself, am I being courageous? Am I taking that responsibility? Am I taking that step out of my comfort zone? What can I do to build up even more courage to do even more? And then finally, we have consistency. And consistency is about the habits that we have, instilling better habits and always improving. And we can all do better. I'm always looking at how I can build and instill more habits for myself. And sometimes we let them drop away and we fall out of that habit, and we may give up or just think can't be bothered. I'm thinking in my mind about exercise. Perhaps not my favorite thing to do, but I've started to really instill better habits for myself to do my regular exercise, and I feel so much better for it. Yet there will be days when I just don't want to do it. And it's the same with everything we do in life. By having those habits, those rituals, those disciplines, that will help us a long way to move forward. So being consistent, and also being consistent in the way that we show up. So not only our habits, but the way that you show up with that confidence, the presence, understanding your brand identity, and always being that person when you show up, whether you're on an online call or whether you're in person in the office, maybe you're meeting a client, delivering a presentation. So whatever it is for you, you want to be consistent, because that consistency also builds trust with the people around you, because they know, they understand where you're coming from, what to expect from you, and that builds up more trust with them. So these are some of the things I want you to think about today when we talk about change. So as a quick recap, we talked about how life has become quite challenging with the uncertainty that we're experiencing, and it can throw us, it can be difficult for us. So what is it we can do differently that we get a better experience? And there's a simple 3-part framework I've created, and we talked about awareness a couple of weeks ago. So do feel free to go back and watch that episode. It is it is still stored on my profiles on LinkedIn and Facebook. So check that out and start building on your own self-awareness. Journal about it. So when you write about things, they start to ingrain themselves even more. And then you start to, the things that don't serve you, will start to do them less. And the things that help you and move you forward, you'll start to do more, because you'll start to get that focus on it. And then beliefs, we talked about beliefs last week, and the beliefs that we have about ourselves, and the fact that your beliefs are perhaps the biggest limitation that you put upon yourself to hold you back from moving forward. So get clear on what beliefs you're carrying around with you that are limiting you, and what can you do to shift those beliefs, to reframe them, to have them in a more positive way, to help you to move forward, to be your own supporter. And then today we've looked at change, the fact that yes, we have this uncertainty, but actually that is inevitable. We can't control that. What is it that we can influence? What is it that we can control? And that is what I've just shared today around the choices that we have, the decisions that we make. Do we want to take those risks? Do we want to step out of our comfort zone? Are we going to harness that courage to be bigger and better and grow and to elevate ourselves, whether it's in your career or in your life? And to be consistent in your habits, in your commitments to yourself, in the way that you show up. So those are some of the things that I'd like you to take away, to start to implement, to integrate, and start to notice how things will shift for you, and the way that you'll see things differently. Your perspectives will shift, and then you'll have better experiences. So I'm not seeing any questions coming in. Thank you today for joining me. Apologies again, this has overrun a little bit because I had to restart the stream. I had technical challenges with the sound, so I think I was just talking to myself for the first few minutes. So I do hope you were able to engage this time, and this was useful for you. If you have any questions that show up after this, then do reach out to me or pop them in the comments below, and I will come back and answer them for you. So in the meantime, actually, I wanted to share this, this quote with you. So let me just bring this back up. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. And I feel this quote from Carl Jung kind of encapsulates these last 3 shows where I've talked about awareness, beliefs, and change. It's not what happens to us. The things that happen to us, the things we can't control, but it's who you choose to become and what you choose to become. Very, very powerful. Okay. Until next time, remember to build your influence, make an impact, and be remembered for the right reasons by showing up as the best version of you. If you haven't already done so, do grab your copy of the Personal Brand Playbook. The link is in the comments. And also head over and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is just launched, where you can see the video podcasts of all of the episodes that have been published over the last 12 months. And you can also access all the previous episodes of My Brand TV, which are currently all being uploaded. And there's already a number of them in there for you to watch. And if you have any questions on any of that material, then do reach out and let me know. In the meantime, I'd love to wish you a great rest of the week. Enjoy, and I'll see you same time, same place next week. Until then, do take care.